Alright, everybody, welcome back to the Spiral Podcast. Today is the Reaction Monday podcast where I just react to things I've been seeing on social media, and then I just, give my thoughts and opinions on them, and as to why I think I agree or disagree with that statement. So, let's jump right into it. The first one I saw was talking about, should Ohio State's loss be put on Will Howard? So, as you guys all know, Ohio State lost in a 1-point game to Oregon on the road, and people are saying that after that, mainly specifically talking about that one play where Howard was, it was like 6 seconds left on the clock, and he pump faked to throw it away, but then he just tucked it and ran, and he thought that there's enough time left on the clock to call a timeout, but turns out there wasn't, and, just heartbreaking loss for him especially, and people are saying that loss should be put on him, but I don't really think so. He had an amazing stat line, man, of 28 for 35. He had 326 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and he didn't really turn the ball over, at all. So I think it's easy to look at that last play and say, you know what, Will Howard, you sold us this game, but you can't just blame the game on one play, and specifically one player. This is a team sport. It takes 60 minutes, and to blame it on your quarterback who had 7 incompletions and over 300 passing yards, and also he had a rushing touchdown, not to mention, and scrambled with his legs, didn't take a sack except for when he fell down on that first play of the 2-minute drill at the end of the game. But, I just think the fact that he marches down the field even is just really impressive. The fact that he set our team up for success, and, that offensive pass interference call really just wasn't great. And also the fact that the clock kept running after the penalty, which I don't think anybody really knew, including the coaching. So, you can't blame the loss on him, though. The second thing I saw was talking about, like I said, the offensive pass interference that was called on Jeremiah Smith, and it set the Buckeyes back 15 yards, which in turn made the offense get out of field goal range, first of all, and clock came off the time, and whatever. So, time came off the clock. So, people are saying, was it actually an offensive pass interference? So, in the time, I think it's pretty 50-50. Between it is and isn't, but I'm kind of leaning towards it actually wasn't. If you look at it, the Oregon DB was being handsy the whole time when Jeremiah Smith was running his route, and once he was beat, you can see he tried putting his hands up to stop him because he knew he was probably going to get beaten, and once he does that, I think Jeremiah Smith, he sees that, so natural reaction was to push him back, try and create some separation. If he's fighting back, then I can fight back, and I think if you see it, I think his momentum really just took him backwards. I think the push wasn't actually too strong, but the fact that Smith was running right at him and he was trying to run backwards with him, I think once he got pushed, his momentum took him back, and then, he just kind of got beat, and I think that really just wasn't a pass interference. And I think the momentum really just made it look worse than it actually was. And also, for it to be a pass interference, the ball has to be in the air. It has to be thrown towards him. And it was not thrown towards him at all. The ball, Will Howard still had the ball. And, he wasn't even, fully done with his route. So, it was, 5 yards in as well. So, I just think, calling that late into the game just seems a little odd to me. I think if that's, any of the first 3 quarters, at least the first half, I don't think that call is going to get called at all, to be honest with you. So, I don't really think that's a offensive pass interference on Smith. But, I mean, in the moment, the refs might have thought it was. So, I can see why they thought it was, at least. And the final thing I saw was Ryan Day, a graph. It said, Ryan Day is now 1-7 versus top 5 teams. So, that when you see that, kind of arises the question that a lot of fans have been asking for the past, 2 or 3 years. Should Ryan Day be fired? 1-7 versus top 5 teams is not good at all. No matter what team you play for, no matter who you're coaching, 1-5 versus a top 5 team is not good. So it's so easy to say it that he should be fired, but you just have to look at it deeper than what it is. And I don't think he should because, as much as I want him to be gone and I just want to see success, he's a top recruiter for the program, which, Ohio State consistently recruits at the top of the class, minus O-line and stuff, which they need to work on, actually. But it's not that he's necessarily, a top 3 coach in the league, or college football. I'm not saying he is, an amazing coach, but who was going to replace him, You see this thing among many teams that try to fire a coach that's not been, performing to their expectations, such as Michigan, Oklahoma, USC, Bama, etc. And once their new coaches come in, then they're like, maybe this old guy wasn't so bad after all. And I think, if that happens, if Ryan Day were to get fired, I just don't think anybody would be able to fill his shoes that would be better than what he's doing right now. He loses big games, and I think after this season, if he loses to Michigan or Penn State, or even both of them, if he loses to both Michigan and Penn State, he's gone. If he loses to one of them, he's still probably gone, to be honest with you. He can't lose those games. This season, it's actually must-win season. So, I think right now, I don't think he should be fired. That's a tough Oregon team, man. Yeah, they came up by 1 point short. It is what it is. They really didn't play great either, but if they prepare better for the next part of the season, then I think he'll be fine. But if he loses these games to Michigan and Penn State, then, or any game really, he's probably out. So that's my Reaction Monday. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you like this podcast. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.